Hey YouTube, Jedi Fuka here, and we got another Dragonheir video. In this video, I kind of want to go over like a mid-season review-ish, some suggestions for the developers going forward, and then also some things that are coming up that you guys need to start looking out for and to expect, especially if you didn't play in Season 0, because you might not know what's coming next month. So let's get right into it. For starters, I want to talk a little bit about the arena. This is the one area in all these games that I always feel like needs the most work, and this game is no exception. I do like the arena, and they have done some stuff that's pretty good, like they're adding the friend battles. I think that's not in here yet, maybe. I'm not sure how to get to there, but that'll be pretty cool. So a few things with the arena. The Grand Gladiator Arena, they still really need to change it to where you can control your attacks. I don't like the current setup. Since you can't target people, you have to rely on your team, and there's usually tons of teams with lots of healers or that are super tanky. A new strategy that's been coming out is the Sigrid Voresh one, where people drop debuffs and then nuke you with Sigrid. It's a pretty good strategy. If you have her, highly recommend using that if you're trying to push up arena. For me personally, I don't really push it. I just kind of come in and do my dailies so I can get some arena tokens for the shop, and that's really about it. I'm saving my tokens because I'm hoping maybe next season I'll be able to push up my arena to where I can get the lucky playing cards, but probably not going to get enough points this season. We'll see. Now, moving on from that is the tag team arena. Now, for me personally, I don't really do much of the team arena. I kept trying it when it first came out. I can get some pretty good wins, but I usually only do this like when I'm, say, like doing something like dishes around the house. I'll come in and just let my dudes do their fights because these battles take too long. If you run into a team that is stacked full of healers, you will end up in some like long 10-minute drawn out battle that causes you to draw the matches or lose, basically. I don't like that. It's a waste of time in my opinion, so I'm not a huge fan of the team arena just because of the time it takes. Part of that could be changed by simply letting us target the other players or maybe letting us speed this up. Now, Champion Arena is actually probably the best part about the arena right now, which surprised me when this was in the beta. I didn't really like it at all. So right now I have a little strategy, and what I do is when this opens up, I grind it up to the silver. When I hit silver, I stop. The reason being is as this goes on throughout the week and more people are grinding up, if I keep doing the matches, I'm more likely to lose. I know I'm probably not going to make it to gold. You got to be pretty intense to make it up that high, but if you can, definitely some good rewards. But if you can grind up to silver, you get 2,000 tickets, you get lots of gold, and then you get a chance for the scrolls, which I'm really trying to get the Lego scrolls. So I highly recommend you guys, if you're doing arena, to grind that up. This is actually my favorite part of arena right now, and I would say that this is probably the most like well thought out part for them. They just need to go back and find a way for the other two to change it up a little bit. Personal opinion. Moving on from there, going into mid-season, this game has plenty of dungeons for everyone to be pushing up on. So in Season 0, when we were at this point in time, most of these dungeons, I was only on like stage 7 and 8 for most of them. I think I was on like 8 on Venom. I didn't hit stage 9 on Venom until the very last month. And then Grave of Curse, Rot, I only ended up on stage 8 by the end of the season. I believe Heretical Ruins, I cleared stage 9, and I think it might have been 8 in Ancient Battlefield. I only did stage 8. So this season I'm already clearing them all, but that gives you guys kind of an idea. If this is your first season, you don't feel discouraged if you're not clearing them all. Like I said, Season 0, I didn't even clear them all by the end of the game. That's just part of it. You'll build up your roster for next season to clear them. The dungeons I really like. I think there's a lot to do in the dungeons. There's plenty to grind up. The only issue I have is the energy that we get. So my thing with the dungeons and getting artifacts in this game, and hopefully the developers take this to heart, because I know a lot of content creators have been pointing this out, as the players have also been pointing it out, is that our energy is super limited. So, you know, like I can grind a dungeon 5 or 6 times a day, and that uses my daily energy. And then if I don't have bread from other stuff or energy from other stuff, then I'm done for the day. and that's not very many pieces of gear, so it's not pushing your count very far. There's a few solutions I would say to this. One, I feel like we should double the amount of energy. This should be 240, and it should charge on like, I don't know, an 8-hour basis or something. Like, I feel like this should be closer to 200, and I should be able to wake up and have full energy to go grind out a dungeon, because you're really not getting a whole lot as far as artifacts come out of your energy. Another thing that I think that maybe they should do is to revamp a little bit in the gearing. So for the chest and gloves, they're the only gears that you can get these percent stats at. The difference between this game and other games I play like this is now we also have enlightenment as another stat that gets added in there. So I think there's just too many random stats right now, and every time I go grinding, I pretty much end up getting a bunch of these, and they're worthless. For chest and gloves, since this is a seasonal game and our gear is getting wiped, I think that they should go in and take out these flat stat gear pieces, so that way when we're grinding gear, we have a better chance of getting decent gear, because in all reality, the only gear that matters for chests and gloves is these percentage pieces, and then for gloves, your crit rate, crit damage pieces. But on top of needing that stat, you also need good substats, and that's very hard. So like right now, doing all of mine attack, HP, and defense, you'll see I really don't have, I have quite a bit, but it's really not too much that I've leveled to 20. And the reason being is if you come in here, this one has good substat, good crit rate. This one is double enlightenment on an attack piece. That's not going to do me any good for the teams that I've built. This one is flat stat, crit damage. Like, this one is good, has a crit rate, so I leveled it up. This one, crit rate, so I leveled it up. I got quite a few crit rate in the enlightenment and attack, but then you come down to my other sets. This is flat HP, flat attack. This piece is not very good that I had to take up to 20. This is only one attack, one crit damage, and then it's all HP, and it's on a defense flat for an attack piece, which I really should have needed these substats to land in crit rate attack, and they didn't. These HP ones, yeah, it's good for survivability, but this is not a good piece for trying to build a damage dealer. This one, I ended up with a good one. This one lands on all four. Like, these sub rolls are hard to get good sub rolls. So if you combine that with the fact that we're getting these flat stats on these two sets, it's just making it too hard to grind gear. And since gear is wiped, I really think they should go in and change that. As far as the helmets and swords go, I think it's fine how it is. That's expected. You can't get percentage gear on these anyways, so the flat stats are just fine, because you're not going to get these for a main stat, so it doesn't matter. But for the gloves and chest, we should take out flat stats and make it so that getting gear is a lot easier. If you're not going to do that, then we definitely need more energy so we can grind more gear. So just my opinion on the gearing portion. Now, as far as, like I said, the dungeons go, they're super fun to do. It's been really good. I've been enjoying it. Now, the other thing is going into the events. We got the Imperial Shadow Recast event. This one has been a little bit rough. I have the stuff to get this. I'm just not sure that I want to, because there's another event coming up. Now, generally in games like this, when you get a guaranteed legendary, and for those of you who have the stuff to get Utior, I recommend doing it, because a lot of times you may not have another chance to get them, and then people will come out with really good teams for them, especially him. He's going to have Revive on Death, so I'm pretty sure there's going to be some amazing comps, especially for Vortex, that involve him. And so he's going to be good to have. So if you have the stuff to get him, you probably should. They did come out with the shop to where you can buy the shards. That's just more for wells, though, because it takes the golden ones, which means you can only get these by actually spending money. So if you plan on buying it, that's going to be more if you're welling out. But if you're just playing the game and you have the gear, or you have the shards to get it, then go for it. I'm at 111. We're about to start next week, so I'm thinking that I'm probably going to get like maybe 160 if I'm lucky. And then the problem is I'm going to need to pull shards, and that's where I don't know if I want to pull, 60 shards to get all of these, and being able to pull him, because we have other events coming up that are going to require shards. So I just don't know if I want to do that. I think they should change that for next season. I think he should have been closer to costing like 150. His price just feels a little steep, but also this is the first time they did it, so maybe they're just testing it out to see how it'll work, and maybe next season they'll revamp that. We'll see. So the big reason why I don't want to go for him is that we do have the Inferno and Twinkle, or Twinkle and Inferno event coming up for Dritz. This is one that I'm super looking forward to. It looks like by reading this, part of this is going to be doing like a little story with him. I'm not sure what you'll get from doing the story. And then part of it is going to be completing challenges to get the dice, but to actually get him, we are going to have to summon. So I want to save up all my dice because I want to summon for him. And if this is going to be the only event for him, which I think it will be, then we're going to need to summon him a few times if we want to be able to get him blessed. So there's a good chance that I'm going to save up all my shards to try to summon him and maybe get a couple copies so I can get him blessed and get him powered up a little bit. As I'm sure, being Dritz and being that this is a collaboration thing, they're probably going to make him a really good character. I mean, if they don't make him fairly overpowered, then a lot of people are going to be disappointed. So I have a feeling he's going to be a pretty powerful character, and I want to get good copies of him. So that's why I'm not going for Utior, because I'm focused on that. Events this season, I will say, I feel like events have been really good. They've given us a lot of events. Your events, you do get lots of energy through this stuff as long as you're grinding. You get lots of resources from these training events. Then all of these that they've been dropping have been giving us good energy. I feel like in Season 0, we were getting more scrolls out of these. I could be wrong. It just kind of seemed like that. But that's okay. They're doing good with the events. And as long as they keep that up, that's going to be good for us. Then we have the alliance battles that have been going on. My alliance is now where when we win, we have a chance of getting the Lego scrolls, which should be the goal for any alliance that's playing. And we're even close to going up another rank on that. Personally, I really like these alliance tournaments. I think that they've done really good with the setup for it. I've enjoyed it a lot. My alliance has a lot of fun getting set up for these and pushing through them. The Golden Wing matches have been a lot of fun. We've been kind of going back and forth on our wins, and that's nice to have that competition and trying to compete with other clans. So that portion of the game's been pretty good. But now that we're kind of through that, that's just kind of my thoughts on what can help the game out. As far as the gameplay, I've been really enjoying. But for you guys who didn't play in Season 0, you're probably wondering what's coming next. And we do have the last part of this game is getting close to opening up. So if you go into here, we have Otherworld Exploration. For my server, it opens up in 1 week. So this is the big countdown because this is where all the fun really happens, to me anyways. Whenever this world opens up, there's going to be lots of boss battles to do. You're going to be rotating through teams, so this is where you want to have all your teams built up. So that's what you guys should really be preparing for. And then whenever this opens up is when you're really going to be grinding the Echo of Clepsydras. It seems like last time that's where we pretty much got the majority of it. And this is going to be how you get your end of the season rewards. So for one, you get rewards just for where you rank at. But then there's going to be the shop for it. Let's see if they still have last one open. Maybe not, but there's going to be a shop in here for it. Yeah, the season shop, and depending on where you rank depends on what you can get. So you definitely want to grind up on that because you're going to get these cool avatars, you get some dice, you get some scrolls. It's definitely something that's going to be where you get all your resources from. So that last month is what you want to be prepared for. So if you guys have kind of taken a pause because things seem like they're going slow in the game, you might want to come back and at least just grind your daily energy to level up your heroes and build up your teams. As you'll see, I've got quite a few level 100s now. Another strategy you guys can do is if you have a hard time with getting enough experience energy, is taking a bunch of people to level 98. It's 2 points, I know 2 levels away from level 100. Does drive my brain a little crazy because I want to see it saying 100. But as far as what you gain in stats for those last 2 levels for what you spend, if you're trying to build a ton of teams, it's actually worth building a lot of people to level 98. because it's going to save you a lot of experience potions so that you can level up more characters. So that's one suggestion for you guys who are preparing for that final month of gameplay. If you're trying to push out some more levels and you haven't been grinding, maybe go for that. Last month I said you're going to be getting lots of resources. And then for the final announcement, they're actually doing something cool for the content creators. We are doing a tournament where we're going to be fighting in PvP, as I'm sure you guys have seen their announcements on Twitter. So you guys keep up with that. I'll be streaming mine. I have my date. I don't know how much we're allowed to share, but it'll be going on throughout this week. I have a date for who I'm going to be battling with. I think that they put the schedule out, so you guys can go look at their Twitter and see that. But if you guys are interested, I'll be streaming on Twitch for that, and hopefully we can get up high in that tournament and get some rewards. So wish me luck. Anyways, guys, that's all I have for this video. I hope you enjoy it, and y'all have a good one.